Well, hey guys, good morning. It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of 7 Around 7. We're at 7:15 this morning out here in the West Coast. Hope you're having a solid Monday morning so far. West Coast of California, Pacific time zone, California desert, Rancho Mirage, the Mission Hills Country Club, Wimbledon Drive. Kind of ironic, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, darn lucky, darn spoiled. Getting out in the grass this morning with the Big O around 9 o'clock for a light little slam, and looking forward to that. And so, guys, look what I've got for you today is another video from the most recent videos that we've been looking at. Some sample points from a grass court tournament here at Mission Hills a couple years ago. And today I want to feature Bruce Nichols again, just because he's one of my favorite senior players out there for a whole host of reasons. So look, before we get into this, and in fact, let me go here and make this a little bit bigger. And what I've got for you here is, look, guys, if you want to show your love and support for whoopsie daisy, I got to go to the advertising part here first, don't I? Look, if you want to show your love and support for 7 Around 7 for webtennis.com, one of the ways to do it, besides buying one of the stroke technique courses, is show your love by picking up one or more of the t-shirts I've got for you over at webtennisgear.com. Men's and women's, lots of different colors. Obviously along with different sizes as well, and some different styles. And when you do, I'm going to give you one of my $97 stroke technique courses. You can choose from one of 7 courses, but it's kind of my way of saying thanks for your support. So anyway, look, guys, you can find that down below in the description area at webtennisgear.com. So look, let's get into today's video. And this is Bruce Nichols with the return to serve here. And what I'm asking you is, could you unload on this forehand right here? And this ball's going to, it's not going to skid through the bounce. It's going to kind of get up right into the strike zone of Bruce, right? And so the question is, could you unload on this? And I think most of you would say, well, of course. I mean, I could bring in a lot of racket speed. He's got the right spacing, right? He's got prep. I mean, the prep is not crazy. It's kind of waiting in a spot that's not wrapped around behind him. It's not way up top where we see some of these crazy forehand preps way up high. It's really waiting to just come on down into contact. And look, I kind of like on the forehand closing the racket head a little bit up on top, right in here where it's not completely on its edge. I like it. I don't think you have to go completely closed, but a little bit, and then just relax the hand and look at this. I mean, this is so on balance. It's crazy. I know our good friend Jeff Jacklich would probably just be kind of salivating at this balance and posture and the stable platform, right? One of Jeff's terms. And the other thing too is there's this sense here that as Bruce comes in, he just lets the ball release out on its own. And so could you unload? Yeah, you could. Should you? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if this is 75% of Bruce's power, I think he's going to make this 98% of the time. If he brings 100% of his power, of his potential power, I just think that 98% goes down. And I don't think against better players, or even relatively where your skill level is, that if you bring in a lower in-play percentage with more power, that you're going to win more points because these guys won't be able to handle the volley, right? Well, these guys can handle the volley. And so, look, I guess that's kind of the point today, is start finding what is your 75, 80% power. And let's see if we can't up your back in play percentage, right? What I love about this is Bruce's sense that he's going to actually play this slightly as an approach shot. Even if the ball gets up, he's still looking to move in, right? He's going to play I got to get away. Look, I mean, look at the spacing effort here. I got to get away, right? Plays a slightly open stance forehand volley, but continues to move in. Now we'll get into why Chris backed up here in just a second. But look, I mean, where does Bruce end up? Look, I mean, this is it right here. I mean, Bruce, can you make this thing look any more simple? And the answer is probably not. You know, starting off with this return, where even though he's got a two-hander, I mean, he's just working it, right? I mean, there's not a lot of technique here. It's just getting the racket prep behind the ball and then being on balance. And here's his forehand. Could you unload? Yeah, you could, but don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Think of it more as 75% power. Play it as an approach. Keep moving in. All right. Create some space for that volley so that you're not stuck right here. I mean, I see a lot of players get it right about here. And we've talked a lot about, hey, you know, this is now yes man's land. We're no longer calling it no man's land because in this particular point, it really illustrates that you're going to have to play some shots as you transition in. And I think Randy's getting sick and tired of Bruce not missing. And so takes the opportunity with Chris backing up. But there you go. So let's go back and why does Chris, Bruce's partner, back up? Why does he move backwards on this? And we don't know because, look, it could have been that we've not seen the prior points. It could have been that these guys were working him over for whatever reason. And since he's in good position here off the return, but one thing he does here is he looks over at Doug, right? He does not take a look back here at Bruce. And we've talked a lot about this, right? Where should you look back at your partner or should you look cross diagonally at this opposing net player? And 9 out of 10 coaches will tell you, well, look over here, right? Well, maybe in this case, with both players up at net, I would say, okay, that's fine. I'm probably going to turn and look at Bruce, and I'm going to look and see what he's up to, what he's thinking about. And that might give me, if I'm looking at Bruce right here, I can see, all right, he's loading up to hit a forehand grounding. And he's probably going in the middle or he's probably going cross court. I'm not going to give up court position. But without seeing that, I think Chris just feels more comfortable backing up, right? And now I think that this is the lost opportunity here for Randy and Doug is with this court position right here and just taking this volley and getting it down to the feet. Obviously does not happen just because Randy may feel he's too far in the middle, but here comes the opportunity. And look, it's not deep enough, right? But again, I would not have taken this volley because we don't see it, but Chris Bennett can unload, and boy, does he ever! Does he make this shot a lot more often than I would think? But he does. Anyway, kind of rambling here. So look, guys. I mean, could you unload on more balls? You could. Chances go down that you're going to make the shot. So I want you to find that 75% power source this week or power level this week, and just trust it. Just trust that 75% power right here, right, is really going to be good enough that you don't need to get out of the point by going any higher than 75%. And I think what you'll find is when you do that, you build some confidence that you're a shot maker, right? All right, guys, that's it. Look, again, webtennisgear.com, show your love, and several different styles of t-shirts, women's, some tank tops, the Racerbacks. And then also there's a bottle there that you can pick up as well. And in saying thanks for showing your love and support for 7 Around 7, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to give you one of my $97 stroke technique courses as my gift to you. Way of saying thanks. You get to choose from one of 7 different courses. All right, guys, we're at 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Not bad. You know what I'd love to hear from you today? What are you working on? What part of your game are you working on? You know, are you working on technique? Meaning, are you working on less is more? Are you working on tactics, right? Are you working on what we do with what's the right shot? Are you working on shot choice and then the next best court position to move to, and blending those two questions together? What's the ideal shot based on where you are in the court right now, and where should you move to next? Third one's going to be mental. Mental. I mean, it's kind of a little minor part of the game, right? If we're not constantly working on the mental part of the game, we're nuts. We're nuts. And look, I've made this mistake so many times, I've lost count, where I've thought that I've really, really got to work on technique. You know, I got to figure out this one little thing on technique. And as I sit there and work on this one little thing on technique, the mental part does not get addressed. And this is to me at this point is the most important part of the game. What about physical? Huh? What are you doing? I mean, I told you yesterday, my big takeaway from my tournament in Atlanta was the fact that, you know, I had to retire. And, you know, I mean, if you know me at all, the last thing I want to do in my life as a tennis player is quit in a match because something's hurting too bad. And it just drives me nuts because I kind of pride myself on having some, you know, working on my fitness. And I've gotten a little bit lazy with that, and not totally, but lazy enough to where all the tennis I play needs some off-court stuff. So my commitment to the physical thing now is I got to get in the stationary more often. I got to do my core work more often. I got to do my stretching more often. More often for me means every freaking day. So that's kind of what I started yesterday, back into it, and I'm committed to doing it. And then I think the fifth thing that we could be working on is what we also talked about yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was making sure that you're getting out of your comfort zone, right? That you're scheduling matches once a week, at least once a week, where maybe it's on a surface that you don't like. I mean, and not most clubs, but a lot of clubs have got hard court and clay. Very few clubs have got what we do, which is all 3 surfaces here, which is the grass. We got grass. We have some average clay. It's not great. We got hard courts, right? So what's your favorite 1, 2, 3, right? Well, pick out your least favorite and schedule a match against someone that you normally don't play against. And do that once a week. Go over to someone else's club, invite them for a home and home. There's 5 different things, guys, that you could be working on this week, right? It could be technique, less technique, could be tactics, right? Shot choice and court position, could be mental, could be physical, and it could be experiences, right? That's what I just described, experiences. You've got to get some experiences under your belt so that you start to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and making the uncomfortable comfortable. You see how I went with that? Babe, you see how I did that?
Do what?
No, never mind. So anyway.
Reading about Elon Musk.
Ah, she's reading about Elon Musk. Good. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Would love to know, again, what you're working on. And right down below in the comments area, let me know. You can direct message me over at Facebook, and you can send me an email, shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. Randall, good morning. Mark, good comment. He left his forehand up, more dip or lower, and he's in better shape. Where did his partner go? Yeah, no. A lot of questions, but let's focus today not on what Chris Bennett does to back up, but let's focus on Bruce's 75% power. I know he's got more. He's got a lot more power in that forehand there. Could he have brought it to that forehand? He could have. But I think that, and knowing him, and look, Bruce Nichols has won a couple of pro tournaments in his career back in the day. And so he knows what's going on the doubles court. And I think he'd be the first guy to tell you that sometimes 75% is the right choice. All right. That's it. I got to get out of here. I got to get in the stationery right now. Guys, it's time to get out there. Help another human today. Have a spectacular day. Guys, I'll see you again next time.